moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance. Is anybody recording anything? You are? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Val will be recording.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the 10/20/21 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve as written.
Do I have a second? Second by Larry Hughes. Motion by Gil Metcalf. All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Huh? Okay, the first thing we got is board correspondence and letter from Helping Hands that will be read by Val Stratton.
Okay, Helping Hands Pancake Breakfast. First I gotta read their letter. Dear Board of Directors, Helping Hands is a Brookridge resident sewing for charity group. Our club supplies helpful items to hospice, the military, area nursing homes, children's hospital units, veteran centers, and others. While we accept donations, our only fundraiser is an annual pancake breakfast. We are asking your consideration to approve the pancake breakfast to be held in the great room of the clubhouse for Sunday, February 13, 2022, from 7:30 to 11:30. To prepare, we would need access by 6 a.m. In the past, our group has not incurred an overtime charge for this event, and we would greatly appreciate your waiving that fee again. Additionally, we are requesting people from outside the community be allowed to attend the pancake breakfast. Thank you for your consideration. If you have any questions, please contact me at the number below, and this was submitted by Mary Sweeney on November 8th. So the motion is to approve Helping Hands request for pancake breakfast on Sunday, February 13th, 2022, from 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the clubhouse for Brookridge residents and outside guests. Set up at 6 a.m. Also arrange facilities staff so no overtime charges are incurred.
Okay, do I have any discussion about that? Oh, second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I got a question myself. Is that enough time to get everything arranged? If you come in at 6? Is she here? Okay. Okay, how's that gonna affect will that affect the payroll or anything? Okay. Anybody got any else? Any other person got a discussion, question, or anything? Okay, you ready to take a vote on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all in favor of them Helping Hands to do the pancake breakfast on the February 13th, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None?
Mr. President, I noticed that we don't have another motion, but we need a motion to, because they're requesting people from outside the community. So if Val could make that motion also as secretary.
It did say for Brookridge resident and outside guests.
Oh, you put it together?
Yes, together.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that, put it together.
Okay.
Usually two motions. That's
Come
okay.
on, Mary
Yeah.
did it, it's perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the men's club yard sale, and Val will be reading that letter.
Okay. To the BCPO, the Men's Club would like to hold a yard sale on Saturday, January 15th, 2022 at the Clubhouse West parking for residents and outside guests of Brookridge. Setup time will be 8 a.m. Hours of the sale are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The cost of a table will be $10 each, or bring your own table, $8 each. The Men's Club will serve hamburgers, hot dogs, soda, and water. Submitted by Dave Fagan. So the motion is to approve the Men's Club request for yard sale on Saturday, January 15th, 2022 at the Clubhouse West parking lot for residents and outside guests from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., set up at 8 a.m.
Okay, do I have any second on that? Okay, any discussion?
Yes, I do. Does the BCPO make any money off this? Or does this all go to the men's club?
It'd be, you'd have to
Whomever I'd
talk
like
to.
to speak to.
Are you the president, sir?
Yeah, I'm the president.
Okay, if you could come up to the mic. If you could just say your name and your
Jim
uniform.
Joyce, Unit 4, President of Men's Club. So you asked if the community makes any money, is that what you asked?
Yeah, I'm
The
wondering if you
BCPO?
donate any money back to the BCPO.
Well, let's see here. We donate a lot of stuff back to the community, okay? The pavilion outside was done by the men's club. Benches, men's club. Electronics, for here. Men's club donated money for that. Turkey dinners in the past, we've donated benches. Happiness, what I mean by happiness, we have stuff for people to do, like the Halloween dance, which we put into our treasury, which we can give back to the community. We have always given money back to the community. I don't know where everybody's been, but I'm telling you, we've been doing that for years. I hope that answers your question,
Yeah, it
because
does.
you do get money back.
Okay,
All you have to do is ask.
that's why I just did.
All right,
Okay,
are we good?
fair.
Okay, I got a question for you. Don't leave just yet. I'm looking down through here, and I know that it got a piece of paper here that used to be CERT did it,
Spring garage.
the spring garage sale, and it used to be in March. Was March a problem?
I'm sorry, dear, what?
Okay, it used to be in March, the way the spring yard sale used to be. And it used to be that, according to this letter, it says, at a meeting yesterday, Bill Hartman of CERT spoke to us. As CERT's membership is dwindling, asked us if we will sponsor the neighborhood yard sale, garage sale. After a long conversation involved with Bill, include the paperwork and physical labor, we voted to sponsor the event. I saw, well, the rest, no, forget that part. But it used to be, if I'm correct, it used to be the third, used to be in the middle of March. So, Okay, and then they wrote, down here it says, will you please add at the next next board meeting, a request to allow non-residents to come to the community as buyers only, as it's been in the past?
So is the question, why is it in January versus?
Yeah, once in January instead of March when
We're
it's,
trying to keep distance from other groups when they have their, garage sale, like I believe they have one coming up in April. So we're trying to keep a good distance from everybody. We're 3 months from, any other garage sales. So we're just trying to be respectful to all other groups.
Okay. Maybe, Mr. Chewinski, maybe perhaps you're not aware of the letter that the men's club, because you were not I noticed that you were not the president at that time. And the person who was the president, he actually moved away to be closer to his kids. And what the letter was he came to the men's club, asked the men's club if they would take over the spring garage, let me finish, okay? Take over the spring garage sale. And the president at that time said they took a vote and they would take over the spring garage sale and they would keep it the date. So what it is, that
was past organization leadership, okay? So we have new leadership and we do things a little different, okay?
Okay.
And as far as, when we have it or why we have it, you gotta remember these garage sales benefit, as I was asked, donations from the men's club to the BCBO. But what it also does is it helps the people who are selling at those tables. Some people may be having a garage sale in January, February, March, whatever month it is, and they're trying to make extra money for themselves, maybe to put food on the table or pay bills. So we decided to do January and to see if it helps everybody out. It's only gonna help the community, and what I mean by that, it's gonna help the BCBO, and it's gonna help the community, the residents who wanna get rid of stuff and make extra money for themselves.
And we fully understand that. You know, we understand the concept of the garage sales. The thing is that Brookridge has only allowed 2 garage sales in the past, in a lot of past, not just recent past, but this has been something that has gone on for forever. But let me finish, okay? The problem is that the standard operating procedure states that all of the proceeds from the garage sales, spring and fall, would go directly to the BCPO under donated funds to be allocated. And what they did was gave it to different groups within the community, not just here, you know, up here. It was for everyone. There are a few clubs and committees that are directly affected by the garage sale. The last garage sale, the fall garage sale, because there was one 2 weeks before, we usually make at least $3,000, and that takes care of a lot of stuff, takes care of volunteer breakfast and things like that. I mean, our president had to pay out of pocket for food. He chose to do that because we didn't have the money in donated funds. The garage sales are what specifically does that. The different clubs do their own, and what happened was this time, we made $955. That doesn't go very far. A lot of people are not aware of this, and we're not trying to put you down or anything, but we have to decide as a committee, are we going to start letting these happen all the time? That you want to do it is fine, but if you can do it, and I actually had someone, that's another reason I'm asking you. I've had a resident approach that used to do the fall garage sales, and she explained that if we do more than 2 garage sales a year, you can get taxed on that. So we are looking into that. We only found that out, so we're very concerned about the legal ramifications also. And so that is, we don't want to take away from all of Brookridge. The men's club and the ladies association, they have their few fundraisers a year. So I want us to work together.
Okay, I understand, and you threw a lot at me, okay, but first of all, when you're comparing what they made in the past years to COVID-related year, I'm not sure you're, let me
Yeah.
finish, I was quiet, I was
Yeah.
very respectful to everybody up here right now. But, you got pre-COVID years and then you had
Yeah.
COVID year.
Yes.
Okay, 2 weeks before we had a garage sale, they had one. We didn't do as well as we wanted to because of the weather, because of COVID. And they probably didn't do the same thing because of the weather and COVID. You gotta compare everything, okay? You gotta look into it. And you mentioned about only 2 garage sales a year. If that's written in the bylaws and in the Constitution and the SOPs, then it is what it is.
Mhm.
I have no, you know what? Whoever came up to you and said, we only made this much money,
Mhm.
okay? Let me tell you something, first of all. If somebody would have came up to us and said, hey, men's club, okay? You got a garage sale scheduled October 10th, ours is October 20th, okay? Whatever dates. You know what we would have said? If they would have asked us, would you cancel it? You know what we would have said? Absolutely, no problem. Because we like to get along with everybody. We're not into nitpicking and all that other crap and people crying about this and that.
Right.
We're just men having fun, trying to raise
Yep.
money for the community and for a little enjoyment for the men. Now, as far as if it's in, Jerry, if it's in the,
SOPs?
SOPs and all that, yeah, show it to me, okay? And if you want us to back off on the, you got it then, I'm sure you do. Let's see.
And Mr. Chwinsky, I'll apologize. If I had realized all of this, I would have, Jerry or I would have contacted you as president or vice
Who
president.
is,
Yeah, absolutely.
excuse me just a
Wait a
minute.
minute, wait a
Who
minute.
is,
Wait a minute, please, one person at a time.
who is, Thomas DiArgo? Is that you?
No, Di Gregorio, he
Don
was president.
Gregorio was the, proxy president when he was here, but he moved up to New Jersey. a couple of
Years ago.
I'm just curious, his application here for the, is in March 14th.
Okay. Val? She just wants to.
Okay. We're talking SOPs, which is a little weird because they're only guidelines. But looking at the SOP, it does say because individual garage sales are not permitted, tables, and then it goes on and it says tables are to be sold to BCPO residents, which you wanted outsiders or outsiders to come in.
Outsiders to come in.
Okay, got it. As far as the spring and fall garage sale, the SOP says, the chairperson shall inform the board of the planned event no later than 6 months. So
We have it.
so we're not even gonna have a spring garage sale because we haven't followed that.
And the perception, okay, the perception was that the men's club was going to do the garage sale. So that is the problem. There was not communication. You have a board member on your men's club, so I'm not sure how that got mixed up, but that's what the perception was, that you were going to. Because you were going to, the men's club was going to do the spring garage sale. That you weren't aware of it,
Right.
that puts another wrinkle into this whole thing.
So what are you trying to say? Let's get to the, because we're wasting a lot of time up
Yeah.
here from other people talking and other business. So what are you trying to say? Please make yourself clear.
Do they have to run the spring garage sale? Is that the bottom line?
I would rather, because of all of this, and I was not aware that you were not aware of it, I will not let that happen again, because I don't like to surprise people. Okay, no, I did not realize that you were not aware of this. I do have an issue with the Saturday one, and I think what I would like to do is to have you as president, and Mr. Fagan also, because he is the author of this, that we could have a meeting with you, and we can talk about it and see.
So all the other garage sales we had were okay, but all of a sudden it's not okay.
That was done by a previous board. It's the same thing as when it was a previous men's club. It was done by a previous
Okay, and
board.
we're raising money for the community,
Yes,
okay? So why would you stop?
Please don't, please, he has the floor.
We're raising money for the community, so tell me why you would stop an organization from raising money for the community. Now, I don't want to ruffle any feathers,
No.
and you guys are digging deep in here, which I don't understand why.
We're having this
I'm trying to-
discussion, that's
I'm trying
why.
to walk in your shoes, okay, is what I'm trying to do. And Jerry and I have had a discussion before for about an hour. It was a very civil one. And I'm afraid what I'm seeing here, and maybe I'm wrong, if I ruffle feathers, I'm gonna apologize to most of you up there.
apology.
Is this micromanagement or what?
No.
Are you getting involved in other?
What I'm thinking of is that I have to now assume that the men's club is not going to have a spring garage sale. And if there's not going to be a spring garage sale, then I will look at this quite differently. Are we not going to have, and the other thing is something else that you just said. If other groups need some money, you would be quite willing to donate some of that money from the garage sale to them also? Am I hearing you correctly?
If somebody needs money, approach us on it if we have it and it's allowed,
Yeah.
with what we have.
Yes,
We're here to work for the community.
okay,
But if we don't make money, then we have no money to give out.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
And, so I think we're confusing here a spring and fall garage sale versus one in January and one in, September, I don't know.
Yep,
So.
and that's what it is.
If you're gonna come to us for money,
Mhm.
which you have in the past, and I just listed, just a
Yeah.
few things off the top of my head. If we don't have, you don't allow us to do things, do events to raise money, now how the hell can you come to us for money?
Right. No, and that's where I'm asking you now. Because that's not something that was.
How do I get their attention?
It depends on what it is. If the board needed.
Excuse me.
Okay, I don't wanna interrupt, but can I add something here?
Yes,
Please.
please.
Vince Beasley, Unit 3, I'm also the clubhouse facility manager. Let me ask Jim.
Yeah.
Is this a fundraiser, just like the pancake breakfast,
Mhm.
the Halloween dance, the, February, Valentine's sock out that we've done in the past? Is it just a normal fundraiser? Just like your pancake breakfast, just like your Halloween dance, it would be another fundraiser for the men's club to put this on. Oh,
Everything,
And I just want to add, okay, because I think we can stop this. Our assumption was incorrect. There is not going to be a spring garage sale because you weren't aware of it. You decided not to do it. You decided to do other ones. If it's a matter of you're still helping the community, and if there was more of a need, like the beautification club, if they needed more money, we always had a volunteer breakfast. We can't have them because we don't have enough money. That's where it went to. So if the men's club is going to take over that part, and we're not going to have a spring garage sale, then I would be willing to say yes and let you do it, because now we've had this conversation. And that's what this is for, is to have the dialogue.
to answer Vince's question, which is, I think, a very fair and appropriate question. Everything we do is a fundraiser, because all the monies that we take in, eventually, most of the monies we take in go back to the community. And when the board comes up to us and asks us for, hey, can you donate some money for whatever?
Okay,
Vince comes up to us and says, hey, we need new electronics, can you donate money for this? We need money for handrails, would you donate to that? I don't think we ever said no to that, man.
right, and it's always,
And that's because we have fundraisers,
right,
such as a garage sale.
And
Okay,
that-
such as our Halloween dance and breakfast with Santa.
That's
And
right.
with breakfast with Santa, though, it's primarily for the kids.
Yeah.
We won't make money on that.
no.
We never make money on that. That's for the
It's
kids.
for the kids, yeah.
So, again, we're always giving back to the community somehow, okay? And that's what's got to be understood here. We are not a ragtag bunch of guys. They're,
No.
whatever,
No.
We're here to help the community. And if somebody needs help, come to us. And if the beautification committee, wants to come to us and say, hey, would you help us with this? Hell, we helped that man in his social dance. We had a couple guys from the men's club for the social dance, just to help them out. Did we get paid for that? No. Did we want to get paid? No. We said, give it back to the community. We were offered to get paid, and we gave it back to the community, and that's what we do.
I just want it to be clear because there is no spring garage sale. That's funds that are taken away from, not from the clubhouse, but from other areas. And that's something that you can work out with Carol and Jerry.
Real quick with Carol, she sent me a letter in the mail, about a month ago. I have not answered it yet. She wanted a list of all our events.
I think David Fagan turned it in.
Oh, well, Dave, did you turn that in? 'Cause I don't think you did you? No. The reason we haven't gotten it to you yet, because we had our executive meeting a week ago and our meeting today, and we wanted to make sure the men understood everything, what we were doing. Now that everything was sort of written in stone, you'll get your letter in a few days. Can I answer any questions?
Yes, and by you doing that too, that gives management, they can see where those are, and that's going to be very helpful.
Look, I understand everything, okay, but don't hold back organizations from trying to raise money to help this community out, okay? You can't do that. I think look, I told Jerry, I said, you do something right, I'm gonna let you know. You do something wrong, I'm gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
That would be wrong, and I'll stand up for every organization here.
No, and we're not trying to stop, but you see the dilemma. We assume because of the letter, and that's been in with the clubs.
Unaware of that, as far as I'm concerned, it's old news. Let's concentrate on the new news and keep
That's
moving
right.
forward.
Okay.
Move forward, okay?
Okay, and thank you, because we weren't aware of that, and it should have just been told to us, whoever was aware of it. So now we're clear. So we probably won't have a March fundraiser, but you guys will be doing it. You want April and January and big.
We're gonna go through that.
Yeah, you're gonna go through those with her. Okay. Thank you for answering all those questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Val.
Does Val have a question for me?
No, but I did want to, not for you, Jim. The
So
SOP,
go sit down.
you can sit down.
You can sit down.
The SOP does say the board appoints a chairperson. So it's our fault. It's not the men's club's fault.
Right, and he wasn't aware of what our understanding was.
But the SOP should be our understanding, right?
Yeah, but that was, and you cleared that up, and I thank you for that.
Okay, I don't have, anybody else got anything you want to say? I don't have any problem, I just want to make sure that
Yep.
it's not, doesn't conflict anything, does it? Okay. Are we ready to vote on this? Everybody wants to vote for
Aye.
aye. All opposed? None? Yeah.
For the January garage sale.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is my report. I will say they started on the roof. As everybody knows, it's been here the last 2 days. And I think we have our, you want to speak on events? You got the report over there?
Yes, on Tuesday, actually, last week, they came in and installed a gutter system from the backside of the pool. And if I can try and demonstrate a little things with the roof, that has plagued our community property, in the past years. Especially out going towards the pool, towards Weatherford. and towards the outside area by shuffleboard and pavilion, where everything's being washed out. It's been a pretty good concern of mine and the board's, to try and divert water from that one drain, out where the pool entrance is. And what was discussed with Maintenance X and all their great minds, that we will shovel water from the area, like say, on the, row section above the, say, on the, row section above the kitchen and the area along the south wall here where it connects to the other addition. And everything from the middle of the roof, from the pool over to the east side and towards the west side will have a cricket in there. And a cricket is basically just a little hill and diverter towards the gutter system. And right now, there are outside gutters and it just flows on the side. Well, that's a big problem because I do have water leakage from that area. So they'll be building, when they do the building of the wall, they'll cricket it in and divert water over to the 6-inch drain that had already been installed along this side of the building and divert water back behind the building. So basically half the water that's coming off the roof will be diverted to the back of the building and outside on that 6-inch drain. So hopefully we won't have a lot of erosion going on towards Weatherford and towards the outside of the property out there where the grass is. But they're making great progress. I think they're up to the portico or the roundabout roof. They're working on that today. They got all that rotten wood on there that was done, all built in with brand new waterproof lumber, and they're correcting a lot of issues as they go. The steel deck is in good shape, so they haven't had to replace any steel deck yet. Mostly it's all wood that they're doing along the wall because you have diverted on a wall to attach to TPO, and it's going pretty well, I think. I mean, you know, Jerry's happy, we're all happy, so Carol's happy, and I'm happy. So
Okay,
that's all that matters.
okay, and I'll give you something else to make, we'll give you something else to make people happy about. Yesterday, we met with the advisory committee, and I'm gonna let Steve say a few words about that because he knows that about it. So Steve, will you come on up and tell what happened yesterday?
I heard that.
I'm sorry, I put you on the spot.
Oh, he can do it.
Yesterday,
Steve Pisano
I'm sorry, Steve Pasno, Unit 2.
has.
Yesterday, as I think, did you have that document in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yesterday, the committee met and we had Ernie Lane, he's a traffic engineer with Hernando County. He came and gave a summary of his inspection of Brookridge Boulevard. And if I could back up just a moment, the committee had done a lot of research before we started. And one of the things that we learned, looking into national and state and local, is that all roads need to meet uniform traffic control devices. And that's the manual that Hernando County used when they came in to look at our roads. And what they found was that what Ernie said is that roads were significant, the road signs and road markings were significantly better than they were in the past. So he complimented Billy Benoit for all the work that they have done. But we were looking at getting the results of this as we move forward and look at any things that we can do or that we can recommend for board consideration as far as what to do on Brookridge Boulevard for vehicle speeding and pedestrian safety. And what we learned yesterday from Ernie is that if we are compliant with all of our road signs and road markings consistent with this manual of uniform traffic control devices, then he will certify that we meet those requirements, which then would allow us something that we didn't think we could do in the past, and Greg asked some excellent questions, that we can approach the Hernando County Sheriff's Department, and at that point, they can come in and enforce speeding on all of our roads within Brookridge. And that was very much a surprise to us, and I think Greg's mouth opened up considerably during that, and Greg asked some excellent questions. But Ernie gave us a number of examples of communities and gated communities that went through that process, that followed through and made agreements then with the Sheriff's Department to be able to come in and enforce adherence to vehicle speed limits. So as you can see in front of you, we've made some recommendations. We would like to request that Hernando County come in and do a full inspection of all Brookridge roads, all Brookridge road markings, and then once we get in compliance, and it might be phases, it might be Brookridge Boulevard first, it was suggested that possibly Country Club second, and then Sector Road third, and then after that, we would probably look at blocks or units. And then once they come back with their report and say, okay, this sign needs to be changed, this sign needs to be changed, once we are in compliance with that manual of uniform traffic control devices, then the board can approach the Sheriff's Department, come to an agreement with them for the Sheriff's Department to come in and monitor and enforce vehicle speeds.
Yeah, that's an excellent news. Wait, Robert,
What about the flooding?
Okay, wait a minute. Please.
I have a great question.
Well, no, I'll let you, but Mr. Pisano Mr. Pasno, he did not talk to them about flooding and stuff. This is strictly about the speeding,
issue, yes.
which we have had for 45 years, and every year we try to control it, and something goes, we can control it for a while, and then things happen, life happens. But this advisory, I'd like to commend you and Jerry for coming up with this in the first place, and for you and your advisory committee to taking a step that and that's what's called teamwork, and I was really proud that Carol was involved, Jerry was involved, our code enforcement captain was involved, and our roads person was involved, supervisor was involved. So this is a group effort. And are you gonna allow a question?
Yeah, I'm allowed to ask questions,
I
sure.
have one great question.
Okay.
You guys are always looking for ways to make money, right? Correct? So, you bring the sheriffs in here, you set up radar stops, radar, whatever you call them, and you tag 23 cars. Where do the fines, the money from those fines go? Does it go to Hernando County?
That goes to the
That
county.
is, yes, and he was asking about, would the fines go to Hernando County or would they go to Brookridge?
They go to the county.
That is right, but that is something that we're not going to be looking at right now. That is in the near future, and at that time we will be speaking, because there will probably be a cost to the. I'm not sure if there's a cost to the Sheriff's Department coming in because they're private roads.
There might be a cost, Gail, but
yes.
The committee's going to be looking into, there are grants and sub-grants that
Yes,
are out
awesome.
there that we might be eligible to apply for. So the
Mhm.
committee is going to next research the grants, and we're going to research grant writers so that it doesn't fall
Awesome.
on anybody in the office to have to complete that.
Thank you.
We have thank yous over there.
I have, personally, I have been involved in grants a lot in my previous life. And I found that grant writers know what they're doing. They have more of a success in obtaining the grant. So we're going to be looking at that to see what grants are available. And then we'll also be exploring potential grant writers. And then we'll be forwarding that to Jerry and to Carol for their consideration.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. That was great.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
And that's all I have. Carol, do you have a report?
Captain Schubert and I went down to the school gate and spoke with the crossing guard. He told us the times that he opens and locks the gate during school hours. Code enforcement is now locking and unlocking the gate at the same time. With our gates locked at the same time, it provides more security from anyone just walking into the community. And people haven't been propping the school gate open. I have heard from certain residents that they're very pleased on how this is working for them. The crossing guard is also hired by the sheriff's department, so we're able to provide him with a key to our gate. This way, if code enforcement is not aware that the school has been closed unexpectedly, they had a flood, or it's early dismissal, the kids still have access to the community. I also would like to thank the election committee, Mary Sweeney, Paul and Hope Campbell, for their diligent work to make sure everything was secure and always under security cameras. I would also like to thank the unit reps for volunteering their time to spend the entire day at the clubhouse, counting, checking, and double counting to make sure that everything was correct. And I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, they did an excellent, excellent job. They're to be commended.
Okay, the next thing, and I don't know if Larry can live up to it or not, is the treasurer report.
What did you say?
Can live up to it.
How many people want to hear the treasurer report, or just want to go ahead and find out what happened with the budget?
That's a,
Do you want me to just pass on this? Thank you, I'm the new guy in town, so I thought I'd ask that.
the worst,
Thank you for passing it back to me. You're welcome, thank you. So
I think you're up, Jer.
I'll give you the results right now as far as the budget outcome goes.
that was excellent.
Larry, you're not getting anything for Christmas from me. I just want you to know that.
You're not gonna put another zero on my paycheck?
That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we'll put .00.
For you people that don't know, we don't get paid for this. So every time I get a zero, it's just another zero on the end. It doesn't mean nothing.
That's your raise.
That's my raise. And I don't get them very often from Jerry.
Only when you deserve them.
Okay, here's the outcome. Let's see. There was, it looks like almost, like 1,200 votes almost. There was 702 that voted yes, and there was 463 that voted no.
Oh, my God.
So it's gonna be $48 next year. The amendments, the first amendment was 900 yes, 251 no. The second amendment was 896 yes, 249 no. The last amendment was 910 yes, and 235 no. So congratulations for that.
Can I have the mic back for a minute?
Yeah, you sure can.
My wife would like to thank everyone out there that did vote for the budget, because I got a shave now.
And here you just told me before the meeting you was gonna be Santa Claus, what, 2027?
Yes.
Jerry, I asked if there'd be Santa Claus coming up, he turned it down.
Oh, well.
Yours not big enough.
Okay, the next thing we got on the list is appointment of 2 unit reps by Carol Metcalf. Oh, she's not getting anything for Christmas either. She's been a bad person. She's on the bad list.
But I have fun. Okay, this is for a new unit rep. We originally had four openings. There was people that was sick, 2 people resigned, and they're doing something much bigger right now. And one of our unit reps had passed away very suddenly. So this month, last month, there was 2 more. There's 2 people that stepped up, and this month, I'm happy to say 2 more people stepped up. And the purpose is in accordance with the BCBO bylaws, unit representatives, Article 6. The unit reps shall assist the board with communications and special projects, promote improvements and community pride, and serve as voting clerks at elections as applicable. There are currently 2 vacancies for the position of unit rep, and we have received a resume from Sheila Brechka to fill 1 vacancy. Now, when this was submitted, the chairperson, Beverly Epstein, spoke with her, and felt that she would be an asset to Brookridge. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sheila Brechka to the Brookridge unit reps. Now, second.
Okay, motion by Metcalf, second by Stratton, Powell. Any discussion? No discussion. Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None? Okay, second one.
Same thing, unit representative, the purpose. And you know, I'd like people to listen to this because a lot of people have been asking, what do unit reps do? They are not patrolling the area. This is what they do. Okay. In accordance with the BCBO bylaws, unit representatives, Article 6, the unit reps shall assist the board with communications and special projects, promote improvements and community pride, and serve as voting clerks at elections as applicable. There currently is 1 more position open for unit rep, and we have received a resume from Trudy Johnson to fill a vacancy. And when the resume was submitted, the unit rep chairperson, Beverly Epstein, spoke with Trudy and felt that she would be an asset to Brookridge. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Trudy Johnson to the Brookridge unit reps.
Motion by Metcalf, second by Val Stratton. Do we have any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? If y'all, are they here?
They're
Oh,
both
both
here.
of them, okay.
Both ladies are here.
Okay, if y'all would come up, I'll swear y'all in. And while they're coming up, I just want y'all to know, if y'all see a bag of coal outside my house, you'll know who that's for.
Well, actually, you're gonna go out there, because we want everybody to see you. No, you can look at Jerry.
Don't look at me too close, I need shaving.
He's gonna have to shave too, because the budget passed.
Okay, we all raise your right hand. Repeat it. Let's see. Do you solemnly promise and swear that you will administrate the office to which you've been appointed to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the governing documents of Brookridge community property owners, that you will in all acts be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play in every manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the citizens of Brookridge and the welfare of its membership? Do you swear? You may lower your right hand. You are now unit reps. Thank you.
Sheila, will you be giving Jerry some airline tickets? There you go.
Thank you so much, ladies. Do we have their name tag? Oh, we don't have their name tags yet, but we would like them to come sit with their unit reps.
They have it, they have them.
Oh, they have them? Okay. Find your seats, ladies.
Peter,
Line them up.
Peter, I expect you to be singing in the morning. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is approval of Basher, and I don't know, I can't pronounce her name, so Larry.
John. It's French.
You hear me, everybody? Am I alive? None?
You gotta come closer.
Hello, breaker. Nope. Yep. Try it now.
Yay.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. You got it now.
Okay. No? Did it die?
Oh, come on, let's go.
Hello?
Okay.
The topic is the annual financial audit and tax return preparation. The analysis is an HOA audit, which is accounting procedures are applied to financial records to determine whether the financials are properly stated. It involves examining and reviewing the financial statements and discussing internal controls. An audit will also take a look at annual assessments and encompass vendor contracts and payments, along with examining the sufficiency of the reserves. Bayshore and Legrand LLP have submitted the proposal for $10,000 for the 2021 annual audit and $250 for the tax preparation. This proposal all speaks about special circumstances which would add additional fees. Those that don't know it, this is the company that did our audit for 2020 that we just got done not too long ago. The recommendation, though, is to approve Bayshore and Legrand LLP to perform the 2021 annual financial audit and our tax preparation. Proposed motion is to approve Bayshore and Legrand LLP to perform the 2021 annual financial audit and tax return preparation. So I think I made that a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
No, there's a second.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
turn?
Okay. Motion by, who's second by Val Stratton? Do we have any discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the company that we used last year. One of the questions that I asked was about the member activities. The previous years, they had been in a separate column. Did they answer that question?
Jerry, do you know? I gotta be honest, Val, I don't know if that was answered or not.
Okay, and
I know that,
I think that was, I think when we asked about that, I think I asked about what the members part was, and I think it was activities. I think that's where if I'm not mistaken, that's where the money was given to the, like, clubs, because they were, had to get their EIN number, separate EIN number. I believe that's what that was all about.
the clubs that didn't get their own EIN number?
No,
Yeah.
most clubs did. That's why it went way down.
Because it was like,
Well, which-
something $40,000.
Yeah, and yes, all of the clubs got their own EIN number.
So I think the money they had was already like, was managed by us, and then it was given them, I think, yeah.
And this year it'll be even less because the bingo, the bingo is getting their own EIN also. Yeah, so it'll be just like the committees that are basically connected directly to the BCPL.
And my next question is, did the finance committee maybe look into other firms? Because I know when the guy came, he kept saying, we're in the black, we don't need the $3. were,
Who said that? Who said didn't need the $3?
the auditor.
No, he did not.
he
He
said
sat here and
that we
said it
need-
ought to be $20.
Yeah,
He said once the reserve study was done, you'd be paying $20 more. That's what he said.
I mean,
So anyway, I'm wondering if we should have the finance committee, look into other companies.
I believe that the,
Carol, I think you've already done that, haven't you?
Yes, we've already done a lot of research. They're all comparable. This gentleman's already done our records. We thought that it would be to our best interest
To
to
stay.
say, we already changed auditors and it was a mess trying to get the information from the previous auditor so we can do last year's audit. You're better off staying with who you have, and the prices are comparable. You're still gonna pay the money.
Thanks, Carol.
okay, we had a question out here.
Okay.
Okay, come on up. You got a question about it? Yeah.
oh, you gotta come up.
Hold on, give him a
Yeah, you gotta come
microphone.
up. Well, you need to.
Ted Landon, Unit 4. Anybody that was at the meeting when the auditor was here and all would probably remember that I asked the auditor the question, I think the way I worded it was, do you feel that this $3 assessment is fair? And the auditor told me, no, it should be $20.
Anybody else with a comment? Anywhere, question?
I'm just looking at the paperwork, and it appears that they will start in January
Yes.
and end in April, so the finance committee will have the audit done before the new budget is discussed. Is that correct, Larry?
Yes. And that's where, yes, you still alive? That's where last year we got in trouble
Right.
because we didn't get an audit back.
Right.
And if we'd have waited until we got an audit back, and still I appreciate everybody voting for the budget, by the way, but if we'd have waited until we got an audit back, I don't believe we'd had a budget for next year. There wouldn't be time. So that's why things are messed up last year. But if we stay with LeGrand, I think that's the best way for us to go for next year anyway.
Any other questions by anybody? Comments? Do y'all want to vote on it?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody that wants to vote for them to do the budget, the audit next year, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None? Okay, the next thing is the past due account suspensions, and that's big by Larry.
Okay, this is account suspensions. The analysis is Florida Statute 720.305. Hello. North? I now have mic numbers. Number 3. Hello. Okay, account suspensions. These are Florida Statute 720.3053. If a member is more than 90 days delinquent in paying monetary obligations due to the association may suspend the rights of the member or the member's tenant, guest, or invitee to use common areas and facilities until the monetary obligation is paid in full. Same statutes, Florida Statute 720.305-5. All suspensions imposed pursuant to subsection 3 or subsection 4 must be approved by a properly noticed board meeting. Upon approval, the association must notify the parcel owner if applicable, and the parcel's occupant, licensee, or invitee by mail or hand delivery. My recommendation is to approve the suspensions of past due accounts. I'm going to read the UBL numbers now. They are, and these are put in here in UBL numbers. They're not put in here by addresses. We can't do that. The account UBL number is 109-020, 116-001, 112-002, 203-113, 450003, 453,
This one.
453-005, 460013, 466-009, 467-011, 630022. And I believe on your paperwork that you have there, there is another number in there. They happen to pay up today. So that's why that didn't get read. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the listed account numbers that are past due more than 90 days. Suspension of privileges will be imposed 7 days after the board's decision and will continue until the accounts are made current in accordance with the Florida statutes.
Excuse me,
Yo,
Excuse me, you read 467011. It should be 476011. We need to correct that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You are correct, 476011.
Thank you.
Thank you for catching that.
Captain Schubert did that.
Thank you, Captain Schubert, for catching that. So I made the
Who's
motion.
testing you?
Thanks, Val.
Motion by you, who's second by Val Stratton? Any discussion? No discussion, okay. All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None? Okay, the next is the amendment to the rules and regulations, and that's by me. Okay, my recommendation is to, make a motion to, well, let's see, I've got to read the analysis stuff. Okay. Wait. I don't think there is a no talking. Okay, the topic is update Brookridge Community Property Owners Rules and Regulations. I make a motion to approve the change to Article 11 of the, Article 1 of the Brookridge Rules and Regulations, Section 22, is that correct, still in there? Habitual offenders as submitted. It's attached, and as it reads now, it says any third notice of violation except for speeding violations against any person or property within a 12-month period be classified as excessive. A fine of $100 and 60 days suspension of privilege in addition to those applicable to aforementioned violations will be imposed. Have any discussion about that? Oh, I still have a second. Second by Val Stratton. Anybody have any discussion about it? Okay. All in favor of making the habitual offenders a fine of $100 and 60 days suspension, say aye. Raise your right hand. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, none. Okay, the next one is update Brookridge Property Owners Rules and Regulations, Section 22, habitual offenders, Article, well, that should be 12. It says motion to approve Article 12.
It's 7.
Wait a minute, 7?
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
No, it really is in Article 12.
Oh. Oh, it was a typo, okay.
Okay.
That should be an excellent.
And it's changing the habitual offender from a category 2, 3, and 4 to a 4. Do I have a second for that one?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Val Stratton.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Rosemary,
Me.
okay. Do I have any other discussion on it? Okay, I have none. So, if everybody raise your right hand and say aye if they approve it. Aye. Any opposed? None? All right. Okay, the third one is update Brookridge property owners rules and regulations, section 22, habitual offenders again. Article 7, no, it's Article 12. Make a motion to approve the change remark to Article 12. Well, make a motion to approve Article 12 of Brookridge property owners and rules and regulations to habitual offenders. Article 7, 12 again, okay. Of other rules and regulations, and it's, the change is from the penalty from 2 to 4 to 4, and delete the to be determined by the AVRC committee. Have any discussion on that one? Or second, is
Second.
okay.
Cargill.
Okay, second by Metcalf. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of that motion, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None? Well, to tell you what this is about, the people in the audience here, we found that there's people that will intentionally, like, say, get a violation for something, and they keep doing it, not taking care of certain things, and they'll get it cleaned up in about 14 days and not get a violation. Well, they continue to do that, and it costs base paperwork and in code enforcement, and also their time to go out there to see if it's been like cleaned up or straightened up or whatever it might be. I decided that to put this forth before us to vote on, because we have people that do habitual things in here, and there was no, like, we should hit them right away with a fine, because when, like I say, at a town hall meeting that we saw where certain properties have habitual offenders, and certain properties have, like unregistered guests, unregistered people living there, and I thought that's the best way, instead of trying to give them 14 days to hit them right away with it. So that was on me to try to get out some of the yes.
A lot of that is if they do a violation, they get 14 days to correct it, they correct it. And I'm not accusing anybody, I'm using this as an example. Somebody brings their camper in, they can have it there 3 days. They get 14 days to correct it, they take the camper out. Next month, they bring the camper in. It's there 7 days. We send them a violation, they have 14 days to correct it, the camper's gone. Things like that continually happen. That's what we're trying to correct. If they get hit with $25, so what? They get hit with $100, they may not do it again.
And you just think about that when I told the people at a town hall meeting just a couple of weeks back, that we had 60-some people that throughout the whole entire year had been unregistered guests. Well, think about how much paper has been wasted just for trying to send them a violation, and they get cleaned up in 14 days. And then over time, you're looking at how much is wasted by sending them a violation. So we hope this will cut it down. We can hit them right away with a fine. So that's where that came from. The next thing on the agenda is the nominating committee report, and that's by Miguel Metcalf.
I'm gonna have Peggy come up. Peggy Christie is the chairman of the nominating committee. And, I'm just gonna say, just gonna turn it on. The report, the analysis, the resume deadlines for board candidates was Monday, November 1st, and the nominating committee met, and this is the result of the nominating committee.
Board members, may I speak to the audience?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening. As chairman of the nominating committee, I am now presenting the report. There are 4 candidates that will be on the ballot. I'm going to read their names alphabetically, but I'm going to start at the end of the alphabet. And if you are present, would you please stand and be recognized? Starting at the end of the alphabet, Ann Webster. Thank you, Ann. Larry Hoos. Ken Duncan. And Leo Benoit. I want to thank these candidates for submitting their resumes and volunteering to run for election. I'd also like to thank the nominating committee members, Beverly Epstein and Tom Wellington. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to accept the nominating committee's report for the Board of Directors candidates for the 2022 Board of Directors election.
I'll second.
Motion by Metcalf, second by Steer. And we'll vote on that if there's no other discussion. Okay. All in favor of accepting those nominees or for running for the board, raise your hand and say aye.
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 All opposed? None? Okay.
Right. Carol, would you like to explain? Oh, no. The next part is she's still in training here. I wanted to see if she knew.
I know. You got floor.
The next part is that the board has to figure out where they're going to be on the ballot. So that's why the names are picked. So the first will be in first place, and second, and third, and fourth.
No, you're fourth.
Ken Duncan.
Okay.
Anna Webster.
Anna Webster, number 2.
Larry Hoos.
Larry Hoos, number 3. Thank you. Thank you, Peggy.
If I can interrupt for a minute, I just want to say something. Go ahead, you're fine, Vince. This is just part of it. If they had 7 people, that's how we would do it, to see where they would fall. They didn't want to do it alphabetically, but this is so when everybody votes, it depends on who gets the most votes, who gets 3 years, who gets 2 years, 2 years, and 1 year. I think I've got that right.
Yep, you got it.
So I know, yeah, it sounds a little silly because it's 4 for 4, but that's how we have to do it to see how the votes come in.
Good job, Carol.
Okay, the next thing is, it's gonna be committee reports by the directors, and I'll start down there with Val Stratton. You got anything? Rosemary?
I want to thank everybody that came to the Veterans Day ceremony last Thursday. We had an excellent turnout. I appreciate all the support that you gave our veterans. I'd like give a couple of special thank yous. One to Dick Terrio for organizing our color guard, Ken Duncan for his photographs, Mary Sweeney and her crew for helping out with the luncheon, and of course Sandy Koff for as a chairperson of the Veterans Committee. Also, I would like to give a special thanks to our chef du jour, Jerry Foster, who volunteered to cook hot dogs, and our general manager, who put on a waitress cap to serve our veterans. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And one other thing before I forget with the veterans, we have the Toys for Tots boxes, one here in the clubhouse, one in the administration office. You can drop off an unwrapped toy. The Marine Corps will be taking care of collecting the toys and distributing them at the time they have set. So just think about the kids. This year is going to be a hard year for many children. So if you can, pick up a toy, drop it in one of the 2 boxes. Thank you.
Rosemary, excuse me, what's the age group?
All ages. They're saying all ages.
Okay, down here on this end, Rich, you got anything?
Yes, I do. Real quick, just to fulfill the breakfast with Santa coming up, so people know. Scrambled eggs, bacon, links, patties, home fries, pancakes, French toast, biscuits with gravy, and your orange juice, all for $7. Great deal. You can't get that at the restaurant. Thank you very much. And Santa will be there. And the reason we went to Saturday, because Sunday's church, we'll have it on Saturday instead this year. This way everybody can attend. There'll be ticket sales Tuesday and Thursdays up until Christmas of the 10th. Thank you very much. In the clubhouse.
Okay, thank you. Larry?
Okay, I'm number 3. The other thing I have to bring up is my finance committee that we had this past year. The finance committee was made up of Anna Webster, Dave Fagans, who's here. The other 2, I had a total of 5. Tom back here, Tom Wellington, Ken Sajak. Who'd I miss? Oh yeah, Mike Garantano. That was my finance committee, and I want to thank them for their job that they did too, for helping get this passed. Thanks.
Okay, Gail? Anything?
As liaison to the nominating committee, their job is done now, right now, for this election. And I'd like to thank all of them. It was Peggy Christie, who's the chairman, Tom Willington, and Beverly Epstein. And I want to thank them for the fine job that they did. They were very thorough. And then I want to thank the election committee. They're done until March. And you want to talk about a crazy year, right from stuffing envelopes. It took us Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we gathered people in. Beverly and Mary Sweeney, Mary was chair of the election committee, and we had people there from 8 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday, and Monday, at least a half a day. And then as the ballots came in, because we were being so careful this year. The things had to be, we tried to do things a little bit differently to make sure that there was no discrepancies whatsoever. And I want to thank Hope and Paul Campbell for spending, I don't know how many days, I think the number of hours that they spent was over 30 each. I think it was 34 hours each that they gave their time, a couple of days every single week. And I want to thank them and all of the workers. You did a great job, and I have to commend you and thank you.
Okay, I'll be last on this. We've been working on the RV compound. We're trying to tell you what we're doing right now. We're trying to get some of the landscaping trailers out from the middle to move to the outer edge, and so we can free up some longer spots that way. So if you got a landscaping trailer, especially in the middle, and that's the only thing you got, if it's in a long space, like say, I'm gonna say like 200 to 208 would be an example, or you got one in the 145 on up toward 160. I'd like to talk to you, see if you got a second trailer, or that if that's the only one you got, maybe I can move you to a smaller spot. We're working on that because we're trying to free up some space in there to give the people that are on the waiting list more opportunities to be involved in that and put theirs in there. That's all I have. So the next thing we'll do is we'll open up to member comments, and the first thing I've got Jim, I don't know, can't pronounce the last name.
No.
Doug,
Those
okay.
were, yeah.
In the same way with Bill Riley, do you want to speak? Okay.
Yep, sorry. I didn't want to cut in the line. I couldn't pronounce that either, so.
It's one of you supposed to cough at if you don't know how. I should have coughed at it.
All right, well,
This is number one. Number one.
Bill Riley.
I'd rather have number two.
Bill Riley.
Number one. Bill Riley, thank you. Bill Riley, Unit 4, and I'm addressing the board. So I didn't turn my back on you. I'm a little uncomfortable doing that, but I will adjust. A couple things that I want to talk about real quick. First of all, thank you to everybody up here. And I know that it's within your power to double your salary. I propose that you do that now. You're welcome. You're welcome. And
We're gonna get a 20% raise, but 0 times 20 is still 0.
Double it.
Well, then I'd have to say 0 times 0
There you
is
go.
0.
You're the math major then. You're the math major. And take it. But all kidding aside, some of the things that I'm hearing tonight, I'm a little confused. There seems to be some confusion to me, and I'm relatively new, and I am a member of the men's club. I'm also a member of CERT, and those are the only two groups that I wanted to join because they give back to the community. And I think it's that important to give back to the community. Having said that, I was trying to follow the confusion between the CERT garage sale, and that was at their last meeting, I usually forget. And they said, well, we agreed to let the men's club take that over. It's like, okay, let them take it over. So I guess having said that, I would like to propose, mostly to the men's club, but also to the board, if the men's club wants to have a garage sale and they need to have a 6-month window, propose for a year in advance, for a year, I know, for a year, and then let it go. Do it again a year in advance or 18 months in advance. Do it so far in advance, it makes everybody's head spin. It's like, well, how far do you need it? As far as you can. 6 months, 8 months, 18 months, 24 months, whatever. Also, there seems to me, and there's probably some things that I'm missing, it can happen, that they're not just the men's club, I got the men's club down here, because that's what's on my mind. There seems to be too much, I almost want to say bondage, too much attraction, too much between the clubs and the board. And the board, I want the board to manage my facility and make it available to the clubs that are here. But beyond that, I pretty much would love you to keep your hands off them. And that's more, I'm not scolding because I'm not in that position. It's like, from my personal experience, the more control you have, the more you want to give it up. It's like, I'm sorry, I got to do this and then I'll let you go. It's like jello in your hand. You can control it. Squeeze it really hard. That'll teach them a oh, there it goes.
I'd like to respond to that, because Bill, you're a little.
And I'm done, thank you.
Yeah, but I'd like to, because what it is that in order for anybody to have a function here, okay, the clubs, you always have to come to the board and request it ahead of time. And then Patrona, before it comes to the board, she checks to make sure with Vince that it's feasible for anything else going on. So that is the first and foremost. The mix-up was that we had the letter, the CERT spring, they were supposed to do it. Last year they couldn't do it because of COVID. So it was there waiting. So we assumed, and we shouldn't be assuming anything, there'll be better communication. And if they had explained to us that instead of having one in March, we'd like to do one in January, one in April, if it's feasible. So it's just a matter of communication. But I thank you for bringing that up, because usually we do keep hands off. But if you can understand that they are fundraisers for, not for just the men's club, but for the BCPO, because in this, for the community, but also like CERT, and you being on CERT, are they going to, whatever they need, will the men's club provide it? If there's other clubs that normally get it from the yard sale, can they request and it can be provided? And as Mr. Shawinski said, that will happen. So.
And kudos to both of those clubs. That's why I belong to both of them. And that's all I belong to, other than this community. And I'm proud of all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we got anybody on my left, which will be y'all's right out there, that wants to make a comment about anything? Okay, what about the left-hand side, right-hand side, which would be the left? Well, it'd be y'all's left, but be my right.
The other left.
Hello, Vince Pizzo, Unit 3. I'm also the facilities manager. As you know, I'd like to bring up a couple of things that's happened in the past with our roof. Okay, I didn't explain it earlier, and as far as who's doing what and how they're doing it. Way back last year, when it all started in April, that we were tasked as a committee to find a roof consultant. And we found one. The board voted on the person for roofing, for a commercial roof, which he did, and he was paid. Then we contracted the same consultant to oversee our roof being done, because first of all, I don't really like climbing up on a roof on a ladder, okay? It's not my favorite thing to do. And plus my eye isn't as trained as his is to inspect every little thing that would go wrong, could go wrong, to prevent that from happening. So what I have in my hand is basically a project startup inspection report that he filled out here on Tuesday morning. He was here. He inspected the roof as it was cut into, as it was, the insulation that was removed back from 95 when it was done. They were all flabbergasted on how it was, but he's also given me a detailed report on the startup inspection as the first day went. And I had given that to Jerry, and I'll be giving this to Carol in a minute. Also, that every day that they're up there, they will be giving me, from Maintenance X, a project report for the day. That'll include all pictures being taken of any wood that's been, wood up there that's been rotted, replaced, things of that nature. So, as the board and management knows the status of the roof and how it's going and how it's progressing. And we can also ask questions, what's going on here and what's going on there. So I just wanted to reevaluate or restate that what our consultant is doing for us. And he'll be out next week. He'll be out every week until the project is done to give his report, to make sure that the roofing company is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's just basically an insurance policy to Brookridge that's, I think, is money well spent. Thanks.
Thanks, Vince, for that clarification.
Okay, Ron, you had something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ron Ross, Unit 6. I'm gonna bring the board up to date a little bit on fish. Bill, if you're looking for a group to join, get involved with fish. We give a lot of that to the community also. Friends in Service here. Still looking for somebody to lead that organization. My plate's getting extremely full with other things, and we just need somebody to step up and help us a little bit. During the last month, we've given out 6 food baskets since the middle of October here in Brookridge. We're looking at starting up the food bank donations again. I'm looking for 10 to 12 homes in Brookridge. I'd like to have 2 drop-off in each unit, 4 back in unit 4 because of the size, where people can drop food off again this year so they don't have to drive all over the place. In this last month, we got out and helped a lady do yard cleanup. She's 91 years old. She couldn't do it herself. We helped a lady, 99 years old, that had a rotted front porch, get her porch repaired and put it operable position for her to be there at that point. Other things are going on, just little things in there, but I wanted to bring those to your attention. Plus, the food bank is going to be starting back up with the donations coming back for the people in Brookridge. I've been really surprised, as long as we've been talking about this, that we've got people in the community I've run across that went, food bank? We have a food bank. So, get the word out if you know somebody. You can contact the office. We keep that strictly confidential. We don't publicize who we give food to. We've got some that we continue to give it to on a monthly basis. Our next meeting is going to be Monday, December the 6th, 4 p.m. here at the clubhouse in room E. If you're looking to get involved in something, come join us. Don't want to pick on you, Bill. I'm not picking. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. See, Bill, this is what happens when you say something.
Okay, do we have any other comments be on my right? I don't see any comments anywhere. Okay, over here.
Greg, I'm sorry, Greg, he wrote it down and I forgot to say something. As you know, we have a honor wall, okay, for all our veterans that have served, whether it's they're still living or they've passed away. So it's for Brookridge residents. So all the veterans that are Brookridge residents, bring me a photo and your rank and what branch of service you were in, whether it is a picture of when you were in the service or for today. And we will present that at Memorial Day. Okay? On second thing is at Memorial Day, okay, we do the same thing as Veterans Day, but a little bit more different. It's more of a solemn day for everyone. And we also do, in the past, a luncheon, which we do need funds to pay for that. And so with coming up, and I usually try and ask the clubs for a little donation to fund that. So just to put that out there, it's all about Brookridge and the residents funding these things that we have. And so it's all for the Brookridge people. And that's where the money goes to. So, thank you.
Any other comments on my right? None there, except for you want to say something real quick? Okay.
I'm sorry. They've all been sitting there all night. I forgot the unit reps. I mean, I got so caught up in the election and stuff, and it just blew my mind. Again, the unit reps are not going around looking for complaints. The unit reps go to people's homes and they welcome them into the neighborhood. As you know, now they do the elections and a couple of other things. And each of those people over there are representatives for your unit. The way you know which unit you live in, you have a 6-digit UBL number. All your pool pass, if anybody has a pool pass, that first number is your unit number. And all of these ladies and gentlemen, they are in the book. I'm just gonna quickly say their names and you can just wave, okay? Our newest member, Sheila Brechka. And our newest member, Trudy Johnson. Peggy Christie, where are you, Peggy? Peggy's over here. Beverly Epstein, she is our chairman. Delane Sapp. Michelle Adams. Linda Toporski. Lynn Devos. Tom Freeman. Fryman, I'm sorry. And there's just 2 people missing, Mary Smith and Sandy Comp tonight. And when we had our meeting, they're so happy that we can let them go to people's homes again, because it has been a couple of years because of COVID, almost 2 years because of COVID, and they're anxious to get back out on the road again. Thank you, girls and Guy, for volunteering.
I got one more comment. If you'll notice that the parking lot out front now, the front row has been like restriped, and it says golf cart only. There will be 3 spaces that we talked about that'll have like motorcycle and golf carts together. And it's not because I ride a motorcycle that I want a spot. It was brought to me attention by a couple of residents. They want a motorcycle to be able to park there. So that's gonna be, how many spaces now is it?
3.
I mean, how many total is there now?
With the 2 that are being blocked out, probably 18.
Okay, and it was what?
14.
Okay, so it actually gained spaces because we marked it down just for golf carts. So I just want to let everybody know that. So
Go for it.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand, aye.